everyone. Coming up on Louisiana Focus, clean water is something we usually take for granted. But near Lafayette, some faucets are pouring out worry. We'll tell you why. One breed of dogs is getting a bad rap, and it is often the last to be rescued. But there is hope. Is there such thing as free lunch anymore? Lafayette teachers are beginning to wonder. Black students at UL have a proud legacy to protect. These stories and more coming up next on Louisiana Focus. Hello everyone, I'm Erica Temple and this is Louisiana Focus. They're calling it a water bowl advisory around Leonville, but some families in St. Landry Parish want to hear nothing more about that warning. Here is Easy Thomas with the details.
The water supply that quenches the thirst of residents between Arnoldville and Port Barre are not strangers when it comes to boil water advisories. Here at Leonville, where the utilities for their water supply is managed, they have had 7 advisories last year and 2 this year, all resulting in a negative trace for any bad bacteria.
When you hear a boil advisory, it don't mean the water contaminated. We're just telling people to, until we send a sample to the lab and confirm that the water is good quality, we advise you to boil water.
Even though the town notifies its consumers of a boil water advisory, they still think it is disgusting to drink the water despite it being boiled.
I don't know that. So you sending me a boil advisory, okay, I'm going to boil that water, but I'm not drinking the water out the faucet. My kids that go to school, I don't let them drink out of the water faucet at school because I think that's so disgusting. And at the elementary school, there's like this stench in the faucet system, and I don't even want my dogs to be drinking out that water.
With the many boil water advisories the town manager has come across, he's glad to say this.
Since I've been here, we never had a boil advisory come back where it had a bacteria in the water.
With multiple tests proving the water to be clear of any bad bacteria, the smell and look still causes consumers to boil their water. For Louisiana Focus, I'm your reporter, ZT Thomas.
Every year, thousands of dogs are abandoned by their owners, but one unpopular breed has gotten a new lease on life. Here's our report. Every year, the St. Landry Animal Control Center in Opelousas receives thousands of dogs in need of a home. Unfortunately, this means that the dogs are at risk of being euthanized if not adopted in time. But why are so many people getting rid of their dogs?
People wanted them. They were cute puppies. They get them, they bring them home. They're not cute in 3 or 4 months when they're eating your shoes and tearing your baseboards off.
The good news is, last week, 50 dogs were rescued by an organization in St. Louis called Stray. The animal rescue team drove hundreds of miles to pick up the dogs after the shelter put out a plea for help on social media.
I've dealt with Stray before. They're just a phenomenal group. We've been through dog fightings, floods, hurricanes. For them, they're a no-kill facility, a kill facility. At the end of your time here, if you're not adopted or rescued, you're terminated.
39 of the 50 dogs rescued were pit bulls. This may be due to their poor reputation.
Because they weren't taught any better. We can tell the dogs that come in here that come from owners, you can tell. You can tell the dog that was probably somebody's house pet compared to somebody's dog that was chained outside.
There are over 100 dogs here at the shelter, kept in cages such as these, waiting to be adopted. For Louisiana Focus, I'm Erica Temple. Teachers know that their students who come to class on an empty stomach start the day behind the rest. Kevin Petiste has more on the story.
Monday through Friday at 11 a.m., first graders at Iberville Elementary gather for what they call their favorite time of the day, the lunch period, where they fill up their bellies, energize themselves, and on some occasions, challenge you to staring contests. The students enjoy what is served on their plates.
You could get like a lot of food and eat it, and it's good.
But what if they were not served at all? First grade teacher Ebony Kolar Williams says the learning process can become difficult for her students if they are not given enough nutrition.
They come in, they'll skip breakfast or they're late, they haven't eaten anything, and that becomes a distraction. So they're not able to perform at their best if they're not adequately fed.
Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos raised eyebrows last month when she said, "I pride myself on being the first person to tell Bernie Sanders to his face that there's no such thing as a free lunch. While it was meant to be a joke, educators around the country did not take it as one."
She needs to consider the whole student, not just the standards and objectives.
The National School Lunch Program provides free lunch for children with low-income backgrounds. As of 2016, a little over 30 million children receive free meals because of the program.
We definitely need those. This is a Title I school, so our students qualify for free lunch according to those guidelines. And I feel that it's a necessary thing that needs to stay in place.
However, the Secretary of Education does not have the final word on free lunch. That belongs to the Department of Agriculture. For Louisiana Focus, I'm Kevin Baptiste.
The fight for equality in the South took a different turn at UL Lafayette, and one political science professor believes it is a story worth remembering. Here is Jordan Williams with the story.
Black history can be viewed as an up and down roller coaster full of trials, times of pain, and heartache.
Whites and blacks have very different perceptions, and we need to understand that. We need to talk about why that is. And so to take it to a more local level, whites and blacks have had very different historical circumstances, very different histories in Lafayette Parish and all across the South.
Dr. Rick Swanson, head of the political science department, went into detail about oppression in Lafayette Parish. In a personal interview, he went in more depth about certain injustices that's going on still today.
Yet we don't talk about that. Black history in the South was literally erased by white educators, white historians, white city leaders, because they didn't want to talk about it.
1954 marks the time period that UL campus became integrated and blacks were allowed to go to school here. Although that was a major milestone in black history in the civil rights movement period in southern Louisiana, there's still work to be done. One problem that was presented in the lecture was ignorance to oppression. And one student, Rihanna Reed, went into detail about how that affects her now.
My grandmother was born in 1933, so she had to go through it. My mom and my dad were born in the 50s, and they went through it too. What we're still, trying to struggle with now. So it's yes, we have moved on, a little bit better into the right direction, but we still have so much more to do.
The arrival of 80 African Americans on UL campus was the earliest large-scale desegregation of an all-white public institution. Although that shows change, there's still more work to be done. For Louisiana Focus, I'm Jordan Williams.
Coming up, we will take you to a local battle of the beauty salons and tell you how one Alaskan woman fell in love with Cajun country just in time. These stories and more coming up after these words.
At the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, our Raging Cajun spirit goes beyond athletics.
One Alaska woman felt that she was born anew when she first found the swamps and wildlife of Acadiana. Jared Wise reports that discovery may have come just in time.
Louisiana is known as a sportsman's paradise, a seafood hotspot, and a cultural hub. But to one woman, it means much more. Pat Lentz is an Alaskan native who has fallen in love with Louisiana after taking a road trip throughout the South from Georgia all the way to Cajun country.
And it's been wonderful. We got to swim with the manatees and just see all kind of wildlife and birds and kayak, and just had an amazing adventure with the beaches and met so many people. Louisiana has its own mixture of culture, which is very unique, something I've never encountered before.
In fact, Pat even bought a kayak. What started out as a weekend stop on her trip has now turned into over a month stay in her home away from home.
Oh, kayaking is my zen. And here it's a totally different experience because of the birds and the gators. I'd never seen a gator before. And I respect them, but they're really kind of cool. And the turtles. I'd never heard a turtle before. And if I wouldn't be kayaking, I wouldn't have done that.
But there is something that makes this journey from Alaska to Louisiana so special. It could be her last.
I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, stage 4B, which is ringing the bell at the top, and went through the surgery and then the chemotherapy. And 4 months after the chemotherapy was completed, the cancer came back. And it came back very aggressively. So at that point, I decided I did not want any more treatment, that I wanted to live life to the fullest, that every day was a gift. And so my partner and I flew down, bought a car, bought a trailer, and took off.
However, Pat views the cancer positively, as something that has given her many blessings.
You know, I don't tell everybody I have cancer. It's not necessary. But I have had more gifts. I've met more people and seen and done and just experienced and fallen in love with the swamp. Never saw a swamp before in my life. And it's captured my heart. I can't leave. I've been here a month tomorrow, and I'm going to reserve another month because I love the swamp.
Of course, Pat Lentz eventually will leave. Although her days here are numbered, she walks away with the lesson that you can make plans, but you can never plan the outcome. For Louisiana Focus, this is Jared Waz.
There's nothing new about a beauty contest. So what about a battle between beauty salons? Shayla Lang has this unusual story.
Hairdressers from all over the area battled it out for the title of the best salon in Lafayette. Models from each of the competing salons strutted the catwalk to show off their hard work. The winner of the 2017 Battle of the Salons was none other than the headquarters, owned by Kristen Avant and Nani Berard. Avant and Berard said that their second year of Battle of the Salons proved to be an awesome event because business is booming. Audience members were dazzled by the headquarters steampunk dragon costume. Although this is a much anticipated event, for Lori and Travis McGrew, this hits a little closer to home.
Travis and I started this organization in 2010 after we lost our first daughter, Madeline. I was 7 months pregnant when I found out that she had trisomy 18, which is a chromosome disorder that they say is not compatible with life. And unfortunately, we lost her during delivery.
The proceeds from Battle of the Salons went to Maddie's Footprints, a foundation created by the McGrews.
And we felt it was important to have this organization here in Acadiana to help other families who have lost infants as well.
Although they have lost their little girl, they are determined to help out other families by participating in events like the Battle of the Salons. The Battle of the Salons 2017 was a major success. The audience members went home with great memories and a heartwarming feeling of contributing to a great cause. For Louisiana Focus, I'm Shayla Lang.
It seems the Raging Cajuns know how to put the fun into fundraising. A Big Man on Campus contest recently helped the little ones. Nicole Perry reports.
Last week, the Alpha Sigma chapter of Phi Mu hosted a male beauty pageant called Big Man on Campus that raised money for a charity.
Phi Mu is a philanthropic organization that raises money for the Children's Miracle Network Hospital, and for us it's more specific for the St. Francis Cabrini Hospital in Alexandria.
The sorority gets different organizations from campus to have a male representative to compete in the pageant.
We started out with Coin Wars on Monday and Tuesday, where all of the contestants went out with their coaches to ask for coin donations from people walking down Rex Street. And then Phi Mu put on a couple other events throughout the week. Had the pageant today, which was we were involved in practicing, doing our talent, competing with a dance.
The contestants have to raise some of their own money, while the girls of Phi Mu put on different fundraisers throughout the week for the Children's Hospital.
We raised about $9,000 with our Jambalaya cook-off, hosted by Erica Cheney, which is our philanthropy chairman, and we got the Lafayette community involved, and along with organizations here on campus.
As Phi Mu would say, they do it for the kids, and this year that means donating around $11,000. For Louisiana Focus, I'm Nicole Perry.
Everyone's heard in the drive-in loudspeaker, "Would you like fries with that order?" But there is one hamburger joint here that will never ask that question. Megan Meadus has the story.
Since they opened their doors in 1947, Judy Sin has been a staple in Lafayette cuisine. In April, they will celebrate their 70th anniversary. But the quirk about the restaurant? They don't serve fries with their burgers and never have. Your only option is a bag of chips on the side.
In the beginning, fries were not really a common thing in the 47 when my dad and them opened. Burgers and fries were not known. Burger King, Burger Chef, McDonald's, all that stuff wasn't even around yet. So when they first opened, they chose to do bags of chips and stuff. And over the years, the space requirements didn't allow for them to add on at that time. And then after a while, it just became our niche that we don't do fries.
The restaurant prides itself on serving the burgers that have been voted Acadiana's best numerous times.
It's a homemade product. It's made with care. It's made like you would make it at home. It's a homemade product that we have cultivated over the years, and my dad and them started with a great original recipe, and we haven't changed it. It's just the same old burger that you got in 47, you got it in 60, and now you get it in 2017.
Judy Sin has recently undergone some renovations, and that included ditching the green canopies for Raging Cajun red ones.
We have a lot of traffic through this little business, and there's a lot of wear and tear on the booths, the seats, the tables, the parking lot, everything. So it's just time to do a little renovation.
They may not have fries, but one thing is for sure, they won't be closing their doors anytime soon. For Louisiana Focus, I'm Megan Meadis.
Coming up, we will take you behind the scenes at a King Cake Bakery and tell you how the football season is shaping up for the Raging Cajuns. These stories and more coming up right after these words.
The new UL Lafayette mobile app is the perfect tool for students, faculty, and staff. It provides access to the most frequently used university systems and accounts, all at the touch of a screen. Students can now learn what's happening around campus, view their schedules and academic history, review their statements of accounts, and check emails on the go, all from one app. An interactive map of the university offers students and visitors a mobile tour that includes images, descriptions of major buildings, and addresses. The UL Lafayette app is free and available for Android and Apple devices. Just look for the fleur-de-lis. Search for the UL Lafayette mobile app today and download this convenient way to stay on top of grades, cost, work, and ways to have fun on campus.
Cajun country is famous for its great food, but once every year, taste buds here turn into something sweet. Jada White looks at the recipe for king cake success.
During Mardi Gras season, there's a hot competition for king cake sales, but one bakery has been voted the best in town by the Times of Acadiana. The local bakery Meshes has been making king cakes for almost 50 years, but what makes their king cakes different from others? They're deep fried.
We've done quite a few of them. Everybody's like so excited. They're like, "Oh my god!" And we had never thought of it until they started asking.
And if you ask locals what they love most about Mesh's king cakes, you just might hear
the way it's shaped and how fluffy it is.
The bakery has visitors from other states, including Florida, as well.
A guy takes them to Florida, and since Christmas, he has picked up probably 5 times, and every time he gets at least around 100 to 135 each trip.
And if you're wondering how many king cakes are made per season, well, the numbers just might shock you.
Depending on the season, anywhere between 18,000 and 20,000 a year.
Although Mardi Gras season has come a little late this year, Meshes has still been able to reach their goal of selling 20,000 king cakes. For Louisiana Focus, I'm Jada White.
Everyone loves the color and beauty of Cajun artwork, but the family story behind one artist who has won international acclaim may surprise you. Jared Wise reports.
You may have heard of Hank Holland through his vivid, captivating Cajun artwork
that our culture embraces. You may also notice how he signs his name on his paintings upside down to set his work apart from others. But as a person, Hank himself is set apart.
Growing up with cerebral palsy, he had too many obstacles in front of him.
These obstacles have not stopped Hank and have only resulted in motivation.
I had to pretty much realize that it's never going to go away. It's always going to be there. So as a human being, it was either adapt to it or give up on it. And I've never given up on anything.
His life partner understands his struggle completely, as she also has cerebral palsy. The support they give each other makes their family so unique.
I see his confidence grow as he got better in his art.
But Hank and Maria agree that their greatest masterpiece wasn't painted on canvas.
Our biggest artwork between me and him has been our son. He's a masterpiece.
The work means a lot to me. That work's the reason I'm getting a good education. That work's the reason I'm here.
As Hank's greatest paintings remain hanging on the walls of the White House, the exhibits of the Smithsonian, and the halls of the Vatican, their family will continue their legacy through the deep support and love they share with one another. For Louisiana Focus, I'm Jared Wise.
Spring is here, and for UL football fans, that can mean just one thing. It's time for the Raging Cajuns to begin rebuilding. John Lee has the story.
Spring football has started for the Raging Cajuns, and while the scoreboard may not have always went in favor of UL last season, fans are optimistic about the Raging Cajuns returning to Sun Belt supremacy.
Season was a little bit of a disappointment, but I feel like we're in the up and up now. I think next season we'll have a good stride and we'll be able to get to the championship by the end of the season.
The Raging Cajuns will look to get back to their winning tradition following a down period for the program. With the recruiting class that boasts 16 commitments and another year of experience under their belts, this Raging Cajun team feels that the 2017 season will be one that sees many improvements.
And I feel like this upcoming season, we're a lot closer as a team, also more experience, and our coaches are more experienced with us, so that's also going to be a plus.
And while UL may not take this field until September 2nd against Southeastern, fans can be certain that their UL football team is doing everything in their power to bring championship football back to Lafayette. For Louisiana Focus, I'm John Lee.
Finals week means the heat is on at UL Lafayette, but the Raging Cajuns know just how to spell relief, as we see in this report from Horace Hall.
Each spring, students take a break from studying with food, fun, and activities, like the crawfish broil, beer, rides, crawfish, some potatoes, corn, and more crawfish. There is also canoe races, music, and a day full of laughter. UL Lafayette's timeless campus tradition, Lanyard Day. Whether you're enjoying your crawfish right outside the student union, under the tent, or right by Cypress Lake, there's plenty of space for everyone to enjoy it. Students, faculty, and even some friends. Some students believe Lanyard Day helps take the pressure off the upcoming ending of the semester.
When that Lanyard Day is coming up before my finals, it puts me at ease. I really appreciate that.
Each year, UPC, or the University Program Council, boils over 10,000 pounds of crawfish that students get to enjoy for a small fee, along with music, dancing, and a whole lot of fun. For Louisiana Focus, I'm Horace Hall.
That's all the time we have for this edition of Louisiana Focus. I'm Erica Temple. Thank you for joining us.